गुड मॉर्निंग। आज हम आपको मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग्स इन लाइफ के बारे में जो याद रखने के लिए हम बताएंगे। मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग्स इन लाइफ to remember in your life. आइए, हम लोग को अभी डिजिटल वर्ल्ड दुनिया में हम लोग जी रहा है। मेनी ऑफ आर नोन थ्रोन बाय सोशल स्टेटस, materialistic items and luxuries, and how can you blame us? We are constantly being shown that the image of a perfection includes these things with the importance values of the life and in a reality of the life. And if you remember all the things in your life, then definitely the happiness and the pleasant and the peace and your health, everything will be in nature, and the value of your life will be elevated. Let us, what are the things to be remembered? The most important things I am going to be share with you. First is you have to remember the health. Then you have to remember your family. You have to remember your friends. You have to remember your love. You have to remember your success. You have to remember purpose. You have to remember your passion. You have to remember your wellness. You have to remember your education. You have to remember your time. You have to remember your water. You have to remember your food. You have to remember your sleep. You have to remember your music. You have to remember your money. You have to remember your positivity. You have to remember your communication. You have to remember your memories. You have to remember your composition. You have to remember your freedom. You have to remember your gratitude. You have to remember your spouse. You have to remember your parents. You have to remember your children. You have to remember your gurus. You have to remember your traditions. You have to remember your rituals. You have to remember your society. You have to remember your job. You have to remember your duty. You have to remember your religious. You have to remember your God. You have to remember your secrecy. You have to remember your aim. You have to remember your life. You have to remember your achievements. You have to remember your service. You have to remember the limitations. You have to remember the rules. You have to remember the regulations. And so many other things are to be remembered in your life. You have to remember your schedules. You have to remember your plans. You have to remember your honesty. You have to remember the integrity. You have to remember the transparency. You have to remember the accountability. You have to remember in your life the professionalism. You have to remember your roles and responsibility. You have to maintain the love, affection, affections, and you have to remember your enemies. And you have to look your state. You have to remember your nations and nationality. You have to remember your caste and creed. The most important things in your life to be remembered, then only you have to success in your life towards the peace, happiness and pleasant. So many other things are there But the most important things what I have mentioned here, to achieve your success with the proud of a citizen in the society, for which I have mentioned the most important things in your life to be remembered, never to be forget. If you forget about your money, for example, then you cannot be success, you cannot be achieve your requirement. Suppose if you are not thinking about your health, then you cannot be maintain your wealth. Yes, the last and foremost thing is I cannot be forget any human being to be remember about the wealth. So कोई बोलता है ना कि जान है तो हेल्थ है तो ऑटोमेटिक वेल्थ है। तो हम अगर संसार के प्रति कुछ करना चाहते हैं, हमको पहले सुस्त रहना पड़ेगा, तब हम स्वस्थ रहेंगे तो हम अर्थ कमाएंगे, और अर्थ कमाएंगे तो ये सारी चीजें इसको हम फुलफिल कर पाएंगे। आइए, आप लोग को अगर ये स्लाइड मेरा अच्छा लगा, जरूर मुझे लाइक करेंगे, सब्सक्राइब करेंगे और आपकी यार दोस्त के अंदर में काफी मात्रा में शेयर करेंगे। धन्यवाद।